Okay, now we're on. ¿Qué ha habido, raza? Ya se la saben, en este canal hablamos de cripto, NFTs y cómo hacer lana. En este video vamos a hablar de OMI, Bitcoin y probablemente Ethereum, cuáles son sus precios piso y cuáles son los precios que pudiéramos ver en el siguiente mercado alcista. Obviamente, nada de esto es consejo financiero, es pura especulación y es un video de entretenimiento. Tengo aquí conmigo a GodsEntry, que es el mejor trader de la comunidad de BB y es alguien que la gente dentro de la comunidad respetan mucho. Él me ha enseñado bastante y con él consulto cada vez que quiero comprar cripto. Entonces nos va a enseñar qué ve en el mercado, cuándo podemos ver el siguiente máximo histórico y pues qué nos espera en el espacio cripto. El video va a ser en inglés, pero voy a dejar subtítulos en español para que no se, no se traumen. Pero bueno, aquí estamos. So, you ready, GodsEntry, to do
Of
this?
course. I'm always ready.
Okay.
Thanks for having me on, man. I really appreciate it.
No, you too, man. Can you give us a quick introduction of who is GodsEntry and what you do for a living?
All right, GodsEntry. My name's Jason, by the way, but I go by my GodsEntry. I've been full-time trader since the end of 2019.
Okay.
I started my trading journey in 17, and yeah, I've done pretty well for myself over the last couple of years. And a lot of people ask me how to trade and whatnot, so I try to help them out, read charts so they can come up to their own way of trading, because trading is really like an art. There's not like one particular way to trade. It's like you got to find out what works for you and just keep doing that.
Okay.
For sure. Yeah, I'm just a trader. Pretty much what I do all day.
Nice, but you actually like got very popular on the BB community as you state that OMI will like you said like it's going to touch the triple zeros. Like you said that on December of 2021 and nobody believed in you. So maybe if you can show us some charts to see what you can see and a little bit of your record history.
Yeah, well, I mean, here, we'll go to OMI really quick. Let me try to share a screen here.
Yeah, on present.
Okay. All right.
Okay, add to stream. There we go.
Is it? All right.
Yeah.
All right, this is OMI. Let me zoom out here for a minute. Let's go out. Actually, what chart has the most price history on OMI? That's not this one. Let me find the right one. That has the most history. Is it Sundex? I believe it's a Sundex. Yeah. Yeah, this has the most price history. All right. I'll just give you my brief little history, what I did with OMI, how I got into OMI is, when the bull run happens, most of the cryptos, they start to fall into categories. Like we had NFTs, we had DeFi, and they all generally move together. So in the beginning of the bull run, I start to try to locate which coins are moving. And at that time, I think it was Chili's and Flow had already moved. So I was like, all right, well, NFT coins are moving. So let me find the next one I didn't move. Well, I found OMI. It was in probably was like December or February of 21. And I studied it for like 3 days. I just couldn't, I was like, wow. So I wound up putting a nice piece of capital in before we went up here in the beginning. And go here let me zoom in a little bit. Go here on a 3-day. Let me take this off to make it clear. Here, let's take this off.
On February 2021?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's when I got in before this pump up here.
Nice.
I did pretty well. And I was fully out. I got out because when this broke down right here, there's like a little trend line right here. And I totally got completely out because I saw how hard we pumped up, and anything that pumps up that hard comes back down. Now, just like if we go, anything that comes down really fast is going to go back up, vice versa. Uh, so I sold everything here, and I started buying back in. I think it was around this area. I jumped in a little early because I thought this was going to be the bottom right here.
Mm-hmm.
Then we kept going. I kept buying and buying and buying, and like I was pretty not under, but you know, I had quite a bit of capital involved because I kept buying to have a lower average price. And when this candle right here, I went really heavy, and I had a little bit too much capital than I wanted in this asset. So I actually sold everything again on this spike right here. So I was like, all right, I want my capital back. And I did very well. And then I started buying again here. We started rounding out. This bottom started rounding out. Bought in again. Sold some up here. And then I sold some more. And then I told everybody to get out. Everybody that I was talking to at the time, when we crossed this right here, this little trend, I sold everything and I told everybody to get out. Because at the time, everybody was saying we're going to go to $1 and everything else. I'm like,
Yeah.
and I like the community, and I just, you know, I know a lot of people are new to crypto, so I was trying to like sound the alarm a little bit, but I don't know who listened, but a few people listened.
How you got to that conclusion that after that it will go like down and never
Because,
you use like Bitcoin or Ethereum to get in that conclusion, right?
well, yes, because I knew we were selling off, but OMI actually sold off before Bitcoin.
Okay.
But the real reason why I got out was just purely off of charts, to be quite honest. Like right here, whoops, shoot, whoop, right here, right here, and right here.
Mm-hmm.
That's a triple top.
Yeah.
So we came down, and then it's trend line. I was like, that's it, I'm out. Now, I thought we were going to come down. When I said triple zero, oops, here we go. Let me get this off here. Oh, my chart. Okay, sorry about that. Once I start to see that we weren't really bouncing, I mean, I knew we could go to triple zeros because I know how these coins sell off. One, this is my third cycle of crypto
Mm-hmm.
that I've seen, and most of these coins sell off about 90 to 95% from their all-time highs. So, and everybody's saying we couldn't go triple zero, and I personally knew we weren't on any exchanges, so there's no reason for big money to come in. Big money's not going to buy this because they can't get their money out without losing money because there's not enough volume. Say like say somebody wanted to sell $1 million worth of it, they couldn't get their money out at
Yeah.
a good price. So just my
Yeah.
experience, I guess, more or less.
Yeah. I have a question. Like, I mean, you said that at the beginning that you saw chilies and another coin. Then you said like, okay, NFTs are like the trend.
Correct.
So right now we're not on a bull market.
No,
So how do we know like this coin can be trendy on the next cycle? It's because of the fundamentals of BB. It's because NFTs are not going anywhere. You have some hopes on this coin. What are your thoughts on that?
I believe in OMI. One, well, here's all the reasons. Oh, excuse me,
Mhm.
sorry.
Sure.
Uh, the main reasons are the founders. Uh, from doing the homework in the very beginning. Yes, some of the technology and everything on the roadmap has not came out on time, but they usually hit the mark
Deliver, yeah.
eventually. But one, all the IP that's behind it. So that's not going anywhere. And the main thing, believe it or not, is the community.
Okay.
We have a very big community, and from being in past cycles with other coins, the coins that have a strong community make it because that's kind of
Mm.
what makes the project. So yeah, I believe OMI. I believe OMI honestly will be I could think OMI could be a top 20 coin in the next bull cycle. And the
Okay.
other main reason is it's one of the only cryptos that actually has a working product that has an income.
Yeah,
That's,
for sure.
not many cryptos have that at all.
Yeah, and also that it's like so easy to onboard people that have never like interact with any sort of cryptocurrency. So I like that. And also, you never know, but there's a possibility that you can buy OMI off the app
Right.
and make demand in that. But I don't want to like have my hopes on that. Like my hopes are like of making money of this. It's just another bull run, and
Well,
yeah, sure.
I think that's what we got out of this last, like the technology that we got out of this last cycle in crypto. That's going to stick around. I believe is NFTs.
Okay.
So I don't see NFTs going anywhere.
Okay.
So, I mean, doesn't mean I'm right, but I believe that's one of the strong suits that we got out of this bull market, or this cycle rather.
Okay. Sure. Sure. Let's talk about I don't know if like ranges or numbers. I mean, I remember that I saw you on a Cabell video like May, June of last year. It was the first time that you were appearing, like showing the charts,
Right.
and you said like, okay, we're dipping like to these levels, like to part of my strategy, like it's just DCAing, but I still think that for everything all my crypto friends traders like you, like I still think we have another dip. What are your thoughts on that, like another
All right. So
crypto dip?
here,
So
let me
I mean, Bitcoin I don't know, Bitcoin going to 13K, something like that, and OMI gets affected by that.
100%. It will
Hmm.
definitely be affected. Here, I'm gonna bring up another chart here real quick. Not this chart. This one. Okay. So let me open this up so you can see it. This is like all the cycles of Bitcoin. All right.
Hmm.
So I don't know if you can see these red lines. Try making green so you can see them better. Let me do that for a second. There. I'm gonna make this so everybody can see it, because sometimes I notice a couple videos they don't stick out too much.
Okay.
So these green lines represent the halving. Okay. So
Okay.
generally, if this makes sense, let me explain this correctly. 75% of the move of the gains that you're going to make on most of these coins come after the halving. Okay. So anything prior to the halving, you're just accumulating. And after the halving, that's where you should be having your mindset of where you're going to be taking profits. Because this is what happens. We come down, this is Bitcoin. This is Bitcoin on the monthly. We go up, we peak at the top of the cycle. We drop about 85, 86%. We go sideways. Prior to the halving, we run up. And then after the halving, we really go up.
Hmm.
Next cycle, back in 18, we came down about 84%. We go sideways. We're trying to go up. And then we had COVID. We actually came back here. Technically, this is like a double bottom. After the halving, boom, we go up. Right now, the halving isn't until April of 24, roughly.
Hmm.
And I believe we're still going to come down and hit this zone. We don't have to hit there, but that's 85% that come down to these levels, like 10.2 to 13.8. So if that's the case, I mean, we could actually run up. We could do like we did here. We could run up and sell off prior to the halving. So, and then after the halving, we're going to run up.
Okay.
So, and generally, you don't want to be in altcoins too much. I mean, you can accumulate, but you can't expect really true gains until the next cycle, because this goes in cycles.
Okay. Okay, cool. So it's still, I mean, you're expecting that, or it's just like you as a trader, like you expect
Well,
another dip.
as a trader, I look at the past data,
Hmm.
and I'm going to go with the data until it proves me otherwise.
Okay.
Because you have to go stick with the data. But honestly, too, Bitcoin has never been in true bear market when traditional markets have been in a bear market. This is the first time. And anytime they go down, it puts pressure on Bitcoin because it's a risk asset. So it's going to create some really good buying opportunities, I believe. I just don't see the bottom until, I mean, even if we go up and we have a nice rally, where are we at here? This chart, not this one. So even if we have a nice rally, this is Bitcoin again. We can rally up here and still roll over.
Mm-hmm.
That might take a few more months, could be 5 months, 9 months, but I
5 months until we see the rally, or 5 months until we see like everything like going up
well,
and down?
well, generally in traditional bear markets, uh, bear markets last anywhere between 18 and 36 months
Mm-hmm.
from, it's a wide range. So we're only 13 months in. That's why I say 5 months,
Okay.
'cause I don't think if I go to the SPY, I don't think it's bottomed out yet, to be quite honest. Now, this is the S&P.
Sure.
Now we're looking pretty good right now. Like we could run up here, but we also have CPI tomorrow. So it's pretty
Mm-hmm.
volatile right now. So we got to see what the CPI does and see how the market reacts to it. Generally, this is where the market's volatile. We do big spikes up and then drop. So this trend line here, every time we run into it, we drop. We run into it, we drop. This is the trend. So you got to basically follow this trend until it stops working.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if this happens, say this, we come out here, come down, we test this for support, and then run up this way, we could have a nice rally in the market. But I personally not going to call that until I see us actually break out and retest.
Mm-hmm.
You as a trader, you got to stick with the trend till the end. They say it's really true. So I'm just, I'm waiting on the markets. I want it to finish getting to the bottom. I think we're
Mm.
going to bottom here at one of these levels.
What are going to be like your signals like of bottom? I mean, because there's this saying like that even traders like don't know what's that. I mean, you cannot catch the exact bottom, but what are you how you're going to know?
Oh no, I'm not trying to catch the exact bottom, but see, we have a trend here.
Yeah.
Okay, this is S&P. I'll show you Bitcoin in a second.
Yeah.
We haven't broken this trend, so exactly, if I'm going to show you how to know when we have a bottom. Well, this is a low and this is a higher low. So we actually have to come up and make another higher low and then break this high over here. Then we're running because then we're
Okay.
making, now we're trending this way. So right now we're trending down. So we need the trend to change and, then we'll start running up this way.
Okay.
So yes, I may miss this little area.
Yeah.
I'll catch this move up here.
Okay. That's the
No,
sign.
yeah, that's a signal. You got to see
Mhm.
higher lows, higher highs. Until that happens, trend is down. Because
Mhm.
like right here, we have a high, a lower high, lower high, lower high.
Yeah.
So it's just the opposite. That's all.
Can we see that on Bitcoin?
Yeah, here. Okay, so here, let me take this off here.
And by the way, like Bitcoin and Ethereum, like you see it like same trend, like it will be the same, like analyzing right now, like an overall fundamental investor long term, like it doesn't matter, or it matters.
Well, if you're a long-term investor, I mean, just not financial advice.
Yeah, yeah.
Not financial advice. I believe Ethereum, you have more potential gains than you do in Bitcoin.
Hmm.
I think, because Bitcoin kind of ran its course.
Actually, that's one of the questions that I have here from the community. I think it's a great question. Like, I mean, I know you're a trader, but what are your thoughts on the fundamentals between Bitcoin and Ethereum? I mean, there's this saying like eventually that Bitcoin is the you have Bitcoin is great because of its decentralization and the security, right? But you
Right.
have that because of the miners. But what if just the price or the award of the mining, like you mine a block and you get your Bitcoin reward? What if that's not um, you cannot cover the whole expenses of the mining with the Bitcoin reward, because as we go having after having, it's going to be less and less. And what if the price of Bitcoin doesn't catch up with the rewards? You have,
Here, I'm gonna find your chart here first. All right, let me ask you first question first. You wanted to see what I want to see in Bitcoin, right?
yeah,
All right, I'll answer that question in a second.
sure.
So this is the RSI here. Right now,
What's
RSI,
RSI?
RSI. I hear you.
Yeah, RSI. Like what RSI stands for?
It's a relative strength index.
Okay.
It's like an oscillator that gauges the momentum
Okay.
in price. So this is like gauging the strength in price.
Sure.
So this is a trend line, right? We are kind of breaking the trend at the moment, like right now, but price
Mhm.
really isn't moving. So this is actually what they call bullish divergence. The price is trending down, but strength is moving up. So we could actually get a pretty nice pump, but once again, it depends what happens tomorrow.
Sure.
CPI, like this is the target for this. This is a falling wedge. So if we close out of here, this is the target. And so we could get up to like 22, 24,000,
Mm.
and we can still roll over. But everybody might get trapped in here, and that's what they would call a bull trap. So for me, I would like to see, if I would like to see the bottoms in with Bitcoin, I would like to see something like this. Us to go up here, come down, make a higher low, and then break this high right here.
Yeah.
And then you could trade this and just, follow this trend until this doesn't work. That's all you do. You don't try to catch every dip and buy the bottom. Because look, everybody bought this dip, that dip, this dip, that dip. You want to just simply look for higher lows and higher highs.
Mhm.
And then, it's really basic stuff, but so that's what I'm trying to say. Like anybody that's not into trading, they should at least learn the basics if they're going to invest.
Okay.
Then
Sure.
they have an idea. I mean, that's just fine. Now, your other question was with
Yeah, the flipping, mining incentives like Bitcoins.
oh, so with Bitcoin, the miners. Oh, I'm going to show another chart. I'll find that for a second. All right. First off, when it costs too much, it's not cost effective to mine. It only lasts for a couple months because what happens is the difficulty goes down. So then it actually becomes there's an incentive to start mining again because
Mhm.
it's like a balance. I believe we won't have a problem with that. And there's just so many people that have Bitcoin from the beginning. So let's get rid of this for a second. Here, I'll just collapse this. So this indicator is what they call hash ribbons. And this is the miners. So every time they capitulate, it gets to a point. So basically, they turn off their miners and then they turn it back on. And that's usually
Mhm.
when we go up. So we're actually getting almost a buy signal, but I want to see a blue buy signal in this. So every time that the miners were turning off like a month ago, but it wasn't cost effective then. So that's what they do. They just turn them off and then new people start mining.
Mhm.
But I definitely see Ethereum flipping Bitcoin because Ethereum just has so much more going for it. There's so much being built on it, and honestly, you really can't compare the both, either one of them, because they do two totally different things.
Yeah.
Bitcoin's more like a store of value and the technology, whatnot, and
Yeah,
there's
Ethereum is like the big next internet super
Yes,
network.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So they're two different things.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And now Ethereum is deflationary.
Yeah. And we haven't priced in like the effects of the how you say the migration to proof of stake.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So at some point, and that's fundamentals, and that's just something a lot of people get confused with. And they think a coin is like all the fundamentals are in play. That has nothing to do with the price. Price for fundamentals takes years, like 1 year to years. It's not instant, it's over time. It's not so when you get good news over something fundamental in a project and it sells off, it's because everybody was already in and they're taking their money,
Yeah, because the event was called the merge.
Right.
And I remember like people telling me that, hey, we need to buy because it will be a lot of less coins of ethers. And I'm like, it sounds more like a sell the news kind of event.
It's always
And
like that.
mhm.
Yeah, I as a trader, I block out the news because I don't want it to affect the decisions I make. Because, a true trader and somebody can read the charts, they'll tell you the charts predict the news.
Mhm.
Like we got bad news on Bitcoin, but it started selling off back in November. Like all the bad news came afterward. Price was going down and it caused the bad news. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? We were already going down. The cycle was already over.
So here to 6 months, like you see, like most possibly, like we're having a maybe a good rally, and then coming back down, and
Yeah.
then
I believe we there's an opportunity for a nice rally here,
mhm.
but I'm still not convinced. I'm not going to be convinced until I start seeing higher highs, higher lows.
Yeah, and that rally doesn't mean like it's a bull run. It's just a
Well, here's the other thing. In the traditional markets, uh, in the past, I don't have the chart on me right now, but I'll just tell you, when the rates are going up, when they actually stop and they call it the pivot, the market has sold off 35 to 58% in that range every time.
yeah.
So just because they stop doing rates, you got to realize all the effects from last year are going to be felt this year. That's
Yeah,
how markets work.
yeah. Because also I saw that like a news that said that I think it's the Fed that said like we're not increasing rates this year, and everyone's like it was we're happy like yeah no more increasing rates, but we haven't like have the effects yet of the past year because they were so aggressive, right?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they're actually pretty late raising the rates as well.
Mm.
To be quite honest, they're not. I would say the rates really don't mean much because if I go to a chart here, let me find this. Right, this is COVID crash. They were lowering rates the whole time that we were crashing. The whole time they lowered it, lowered it. You know when we went up, they gave everybody stimulus.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, the rates, they don't. I mean, they mean something, but it's not an immediate effect. It's a lagging effect. They break something, we start to go down. Like right now, I mean, quite frankly, this looks kind of bullish. Like we could get a rally here, but
Mm-hmm.
we also rally into the CPI sometimes. Then we sell off. That's tomorrow. This will look pretty strong if we keep going. So if we come out of here, we pop up, we hold this for support. I may try to buy there. And that's maybe, but I want to see it first. I'm going to see confirmation first.
Okay.
Otherwise,
You will see the confirmation on the charts. Okay.
because so the price went up, it came down here, and we stuck here. We start trending up. This is where you buy. But if we go here, a lot of people start shorting, and we start to fall back below this. We'll make it green right now. we fall back below this green line, we're going to drop down. So I want to see us pop up, test for support, and start moving our way up, not go up and then drop back through.
Okay.
So it's just, you got to be patient, I guess. You know?
Okay, let's do this. Like, let's make some prediction for the people watching this video. But let's go to Bitcoin charts, and let's say that you have a plan of what do you think it's going to happen, like 3 months, 6 months, and 1 year. What are your price predictions? If we can do Bitcoin, Ethereum, and OMI, it will be great.
All right, here, let me show you something really quick. Sorry. Turn my. Here's Bitcoin. All right. So we're just going to zoom in here. Lower this at 12 hours. So not to confuse everybody. But when we have these channels like this that move up, they're bearish. We have a channel moving down, that's bullish. Okay. So we're going up in these channels, popping down. Going up in these channels, popping down. We're doing the same thing again. I'm kind of thinking we're going to go up here, to be quite honest. This is exactly what I'm doing. I'll tell you what I'm doing. For here, I would play this short. We come into this channel here. I'll play that short to go back down. I mean, I believe we're going to come all the way back down to here at some point. Not in a straight line like that, but I'm going to play a short right here around this 18-1 because we have a lot of resistance right here. We have this trend line right here. And I think ultimately we're going to see the bottom because this is actually a bullish channel, this green channel right here. I believe we're going to see this area at some point, somewhere between like this whole zone here between 10, we'll say 10.2 to 13.8. This is where I would start thinking about, all right, we're at the bottom.
Okay.
We actually break out of here and start pushing up. Like I said, I'll change my mind, but I'm going to play the trend until it does stops working.
Okay.
I'm trying to be disciplined. Ethereum, the same thing. You can see us coming up to this trend line right here, this white trend line. And I can see us coming up to here and reversing, coming back down and basically ending up down here. I can see it come up here at some point and back here. We'll make like what they call a double bottom. Here's a bottom and a double bottom. And that depends on the regular markets. Now, if the regular markets start selling off really hard, then we can see lower levels. But I'm playing like short to mid-term moves. I believe we're going to go up and then we'll reverse down. But once again, if we break out of here, we start making higher highs, we break this high here. Let me get rid of this for a second. Pull these down. So if we do something like this, and we actually come down and test this trend line, and we break back above here, I'll trade off this trend line back up to here, you know, but my first move is to short this area first, you know, and then I like to take trades at an area is what's called an inflection point. So an inflection point, that means a decision has to be made. So I'd rather trade where a decision has to be made because I'm going to know if I'm right or wrong relatively fast. That's that. I do got to say the market's looking kind of strong, but I'm just, you know, I'm not convinced because we got the CPI coming out. I'm going to OMI really quick. And this is a 3-day. We want a daily. So depending on what the markets do, I'm playing this like a range. This blue line to down here to this blue line. To me, I'm calling that a range. So price is going to have to break above this range We're gonna have to go up here for me to get bullish. Oops, sorry about that. For me to get bullish, we're gonna have to come down here and test this before we go up. All right. In the meantime, I had marked out worst case scenarios because that's what I was looking for. In case the overall markets do kind of, go south on us. So I want to know the worst case for the coins that I like. And I'm mentally prepared for OMI to come all the way down here. Because I don't want to be holding something and it goes in a direction I'm not mentally prepared for it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's going here. I already called this area. So I'm not, I called this way in advance. But what I am doing is this is the range it's in now. Get rid of this for a second. Okay, so this is the range it's in now. So all I did was pull this range down an equal amount, just the equal amount from the distance from the top to the bottom, and it actually comes to what they call a yearly pivot, and it's based off of, it's a yearly pivot, and it lines up right there. So that's how I come up with this number as my worst case scenario.
Okay.
And so yeah, I believe we could stay in here and accumulate for some time. And the only thing that would change my mind is we pop out of this range. And then once again, like I said, I'll put my money in when we break out, we test for support and start running up. But I'm not going to put my money in right here where all the action is happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I want to see everything clear out first.
What are your thoughts? Like, I'm not sure if like something I learned about Domi like in the past cycle is that fundamentals, like, who cares, right? So
I don't. I'm a trader, so
yeah,
I'm a little bit. I'm
because
a little bit biased with
yeah,
that. So I personally don't care about fundamentals.
I mean, I saw that like I really thought like this was like the best product ever, but I didn't see like correlation with the price because it just it doesn't work like that. So so we have like this. It's well, we have OMI burning, but now I don't think that matters,
Yeah,
So
it matters, but it matters, like I said, over a long period of time.
mhm. So
Like
you
not
have
gonna.
that into consideration. Let's say to after the Bitcoin having, like, what are your price targets with that into consideration?
So we did this the other day. Let me show you.
Sure.
Let me pull this out. Let me find the top. This is the wrong chart for this. OMI. What is it? Oh. Is that index or? It's okay. We'll use this. So let me just clean this up here. Get rid of this. Where is that? Okay. So for OMI, a realistic price prediction, and I'm going to pull this down to where I think the worst case scenario could be.
Sure.
We're like there, pretty close enough. So the way you do this, because there's no way to kind of predict the future, and one of the only tools that I know how to use is called Fibonacci, right? And we got these extensions, and generally in a bull market, we hit these certain extensions all the time. This is the 1.618, the 2.618, and up here is the 3.618. So from a technical standpoint, I really can't say OMI's going to go past like 5 cents.
Technical.
Yeah, I mean, but you got to realize that's 12,000% move. It's like 120x. That's really good. You know what I mean? So I can see us doing I mean, this is like being conservative. I can see OMI 50xing from here. So I can see OMI going from 50x to 150x without fundamentals, without a project, without anything.
Mm-hmm.
So that being said, in a bull run with all the fundamentals they have in place, could extend this a lot higher than we realize. But from a technical standpoint, I can't call higher than 5 cents. You know,
Five. Higher than okay.
Yeah, I personally can't call higher than 5 cents on the next bull cycle. You know, now things can change. Like, take this away for a second. Say price comes up here. Say we do something like this. Say price move, whatever, would come like this. Well, bounce, whatever, go like this. Oh, shoot. Say something like this. All right. So say price is there and we're in the middle of a bull run. I can pull a fib on the price action once it's there. Maybe I could do something like that. And that's how I'll keep getting the next targets. I'll just keep pulling a fib on the way up. Or I'll use some price structure that's forming like a technical pattern, whether it's a double bottom, we got a wedge, something that tells us that gives us an area where OMI could go.
Mm-hmm.
Without this price in front of me, the only tool I know how to use is the Fibonacci. And like I said, I can't see us getting past 5 cents from a technical standpoint.
Sure. I mean, that's really nice still, right?
It's great.
And the and it doesn't matter like the prices we have right now, like it's a
blessing.
blessing.
It's
Yeah.
all in perspective. It's really on your time horizon. And your expectations should be at this point like 2025, 2026, whatever. If you're actually investing right now, like, not financial advice, and once again, but like, you should have an outlook of at least to that time. And
Yeah.
to be realistic, but if you make it, you're gonna probably be pretty happy.
Sure.
I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm gonna trade and buy OMI again.
Yeah, actually, I had this goal of having like 10 million on me, and I'm gonna make it because of these prices.
Great.
Mm-hmm. But one thing is like the lower the price, I think it's the harder that we can hit like above 5 cents, right? Or that
Well,
doesn't matter.
all right. So
I mean, because I have this logic, like if we go like let's say 0006, I mean, some whale is going to buy big in there, and we're going to have like dips before we get to that 5 cents, because that
well,
whale is going to sell.
we sit down here like this. Whatever. I'm just drawing it. We just stay down here, basing out
Mm-hmm.
forever. For a long time.
Yeah, yeah.
We just stay down here in this range. The longer this base, the better for us.
Mm.
Rather than us popping up, rather than us going like this and coming back down. Then we got to build a base again. So the idea is we kind of want to stay down here. You really don't want price to go up right now.
Mm-hmm.
You want it to stay like this rounding section, just to stay down here. We can stay down here all year. It'd be great, from my point of view. Because our halving's not till next year.
Yeah.
So
And the halving to take effect, like it takes
well,
6
going into the end of next year, we should see the bottom. Is what I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for some reason, like I have this like question like all the time, like, yeah, I mean, we all know that for people watching this video, like, yeah, after the halving, like we have a bull run, but it's not like the cycles are not always the same. So how do we know like maybe, I mean, it's like a very famous Wall Street phrase, but how do we know like it's not different like this time or something? Like, I
No,
mean, you said like this time we're having a macroeconomic bear market. So how?
yeah. So I mean, I believe at some point Bitcoin's going to excel because of the situation. Whether it does it right now or down the road, just Bitcoin's just a better system. Like I believe in crypto. You know, so at some point people are going to feel safer in Bitcoin. You know, I don't see us. This is my worst case scenario. Let me find it. This is my worst case scenario. Like I'm not showing this to scare people, but you know, if you're mentally prepared for it, it could happen. This isn't my chart. This is somebody else's chart. I just replicated it. I'm not gonna take credit for this. They found this. So basically, this is Amazon. It's actually Crypto Savvy. He's the guy that he's another
Mm,
YouTube guy.
yeah.
He found this. So this is a pattern from Amazon in 2001. So you see the double tops here, right? I took this, we overlaid it onto Bitcoin.
Mm.
That's actually Bitcoin right now. Analyze them pretty well with it, right? So this is the worst case scenario. We find bottom here, which this is how we would get 0004 OMI if Bitcoin did something like this. Because my idea is I'm trying to prepare for the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
But what happens, I'm
Mm.
not like, oh, what happened? No. All right. So I knew this could happen. So I should be mentally and, you know, financially prepared of what's
I
happening.
cannot see like probably the viewer can, but I can because I'm recording the session, but I cannot see the number of Bitcoin worst case scenario. What is it?
Oh. So worst case scenarios here, it's between like 5,500 and 6,800.
Okay,
So
triple digits.
yeah, you know, so here's the bottom in 18 or 19, whatever you want to call it, 18, 19. Got a trend line here. Here's the
Six
bottom.
eighty, you said?
Excuse me.
680, 680.
Uh, no.
Worst case.
What do you mean 680?
Worst case for Bitcoin.
Oh, 5,500 or
Okay.
6,800.
Okay.
55 like 5,000 and 7,000.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So, but here's the bottom in 18, and here's the bottom for COVID. So I made a
Gotcha,
trend.
gotcha, gotcha.
I made a trend line, and look, it happens to hit it perfectly. So
Okay.
this could be our worst case scenario. So, and that would give us our only price up, you know. So, you know, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but as a trader, you try to project out to see different scenarios, like,
Yeah.
you know, just like when we were running up, I was trying to figure out where the top was. You know, like I was fortunate enough, I knew we were running up. Price broke above about 12,000. You know, I switched all my Bitcoin into Ethereum about then.
Okay. Sure.
I'm always going to try to find the top and bottom. It's just I'm going to try to. You know,
No, so it's
just envy.
100% fair, man. Okay, let's do this. Let's have some final thoughts because we almost like 50 minutes in here. So some final thoughts for the not at all not for the traders. I think there are some traders watching this video, but for the investors, because most of the people that watch me like come from BB, so they're new to investing, and yeah, like some words for them to
All
like
right.
feel
So,
good.
all right. Well, if you
And also you told us like you expect probably an all-time high, 5 cents for OMI. What are your all-time highs projection, not financial advice, but for Ethereum and Bitcoin, and some words from them?
well, I'm not going to call Ethereum and Bitcoin highs, so I know where the bottom's at. It's kind
Mm,
of hard. But I would just simply be guessing. I don't want to do that. But what I will just say is, if you're still here in this bear market, don't give up. Because I'm going to tell you a story. I've given up on coins before, and it makes you upset. You just held out another few months. You just dealt with this whole rundown. Who cares if we drop down? At this point, you should want the price to drop. Because the price drop, all it's going to do is give you more time.
Yeah.
We already lost this year. We already lost whatever gains you didn't take. Guess what? It's a learning lesson for the next run. That's the beauty of this. Like, it's a learning lesson, but as long as you apply it to the next run, you can't. Don't give up. I wouldn't give up. Because you're going to be selling to somebody with more money at this point.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, actually, I remember like you say in a video like this is the time to learn.
Yeah, this is the time to learn. This is the time to start to understand how to chart, and learn basic basic charting fundamentals. So not necessarily to be a trader.
Yeah.
But you can learn how to read charts from a higher time frame, and you'd be like, all right, we're about done now, or all right, we're at the bottom now, or just some simple strategies you can learn and compound your gains. That's the name of this game: is compound your gains and protect your capital.
I like that.
That's
okay. Well, thanks a lot, man. I'm glad this is your FA first appearance on the largest channel. So thanks a lot for being here. And thanks a lot for what you're doing for the community, man. I learned so much, like basic things like the week of method, like market cycles, things like that. I wish like I learned that when I joined crypto, and not like like these guys that like have these thumbnails like Bitcoin is going to the moon, and they're like, oh, like I mean, we don't need that. We need education.
Well, that's what I say. I mean, you can follow me. I'm starting to build out content to help people out. So I'm trying to put educational content to help others out, because, to be quite honest, when the bull runs around, I'm going to be trading hard. So right now,
so your Discord, I don't know if it's closed or public. Do you want?
No, it's public.
Okay.
You can find it on my Twitter or.
Okay, we can put the link on the description so
no problem.
People can join.
Yeah, I'm just trying to help anybody out that wants to learn.
Okay, cool. Well, I guess we see you there. Pues gracias, raza, a todos los que vinieron acá. Acá estuvimos una buena hora de educación con GodsEntry. Tal vez partamos este video en dos porque tengan un déficit de atención terrible, pero pues aquí lo cortaremos. Se me cuidan y pues arriba, vamos a darle. Sobres.
Bye.